All right. Well, welcome TikTok. Uh, as promised, I am going to do more lives. So tonight's going to be about 20 minutes, and we are going to piggyback on was it yesterday's episode, Sleeping with the Enemy. But today, because I had an overwhelming amount of DMs and emails and things of that nature, questions and comments about the last episode, Sleeping with the Enemy, I'm going to read a few and we're going to answer them live. So if you want to jump into the live, if you have a question that you want me to answer, you guys can do that too. But we have about 7. All right, 7. And then we're going to go over our prompt and then we'll go from there. Hey, bestie. So if you guys tuned in to last live stream with me, we talked about sleeping with the enemy, and it went over sleeping with insecurity, sleeping with self-doubt, and questioning yourself, and the reason why you're in the same position, right? So that was the last episode, but I kind of really liked that episode because a lot of us didn't realize that the enemy that we were sleeping with was ourselves and the stuff that we was holding on to. And so it really opened eyes and made people think about certain things. At least that's what they're telling me. So I wanted to dedicate today to just go over some of the questions and the comments. If you don't know who I am Life Coach Jenna Cherie with the Daily Dose and WGSL 104.7 online talk radio. And so trying to get used to going live more often is what I'm trying to do. So I am literally just getting, well, not literally just getting home, but I just got home not too long ago, jumped in the shower. So this is just me kicking it and going over a few questions and comments from the show. Okay, so let's jump into it so we don't hold you guys too long. But I got some really great comments and really great questions. So we're gonna start off with Raina. I want to say that's the name, Rayna. Shout out to Charlotte, North Carolina. And that's another thing that I like, you guys. I get a lot of questions about if I'm local. I'm not just local. I'm online radio. And when I go live, I am live in the studios, but I am on internet. I can talk because it reaches more people. So it doesn't just go, it goes beyond where I'm located, and it reaches just about anything. And that's what I like about Spotify, being on there, being on Pandora and iHeartRadio, because it opens up to worldwide, right? I just got the feedback, and I'm pretty big in a lot of different actually countries and states. So cool. So shout out to Charlotte, North Carolina. And Raina says, Gina, when you said we can sleep next to insecurities for so long that it starts feeling normal, I felt that. I've been choosing partners who reflect my self-doubt back to me, and I didn't realize that the enemy I invited into my life, right? And you guys heard me say a lot of times we don't understand, or we haven't grasped like the way we let that little small voice creep in and take over, right? But Raina, thank you so much for being honest. When the internal enemy is loud, we choose external relationships, right? That matches that noise. So what am I saying? You're choosing your partners to that little voice that's been talking to you and creating that doubt and creating the self-sabotage, right? But the moment you recognize your pattern, you interrupt that little voice, and you no longer let that little voice continue being louder, speaking for you. The moment that you name that enemy, it loses its power. So once you recognize it, you understand it, and you voice it out loud, you no longer gave it power. So in a sense, you're silencing that little voice that crept up in your head and gave you that self-doubt, right? And you're not choosing pain anymore, you're choosing awareness. And awareness is the beginning of rebuilding your self-worth, right? So I commend you for even taking a moment to even write in. It's not that easy for people to open up about their feelings and be vulnerable to something, right? So Raina, thank you so much. Shout out to Charlotte, North Carolina. Keep moving in the right directions. Keep silencing that small voice and letting that enemy know that it has no more power over you and over your life, over your thoughts and your feelings. And just love on yourself. If you haven't already, get your journal. If you listen to the Daily Dose, you hear me talk about having a journal. And we are going to go over that journal prompt that we did for last episode. But grab your journal. And the purpose of your journal is to write down your raw feelings and things that you want to work on. And let that be a tool and an outlet for you to continue like your journey with your growth and your healing, and you're moving forward in the right direction, right? All right, so we got a question from Terrence from Memphis, Tennessee. All right, Memphis, Tennessee. Shout out to you. Thank you for listening to the Daily Dose. Gina, how do you rebuild your confidence when you don't even know where or when it disappeared? Terrence, I would say this: confidence rarely disappears. It's buried. You somehow buried that confidence. It didn't go away. It's still there. You just go out to unbury it and figure out when, where, and why you buried it in the first place. It's probably you buried it under disappointment, under being compared to other people or past failures, and that allowed you to bury it deep, deep down. So you still have your confidence. So to rebuild it, don't start big. If you guys listen to the prior episode when I talk about micro moments, don't start big. Don't put a goal that's not attainable, right? Start small and rebuild that. Okay, make one promise to yourself and keep that promise, whatever that is for you, and keep it. Confidence grows when you become someone you can trust. Every small kept promise is a brick that you can build over and over and over again. That's your micro, right? Every day you got to show up, you got to build that brick. So every day. So this is that reinforcement that I tell you guys about when you guys, the little Sharpies on the mirror in the bathroom, your little yellow sticky notes, and those words of affirmation, those are bricks that you're building for yourself. And you got to keep telling yourself until you believe what you're saying and what you're seeing in that mirror, right? And rebuilding that confidence. So keep building it. And confidence will come back with consistency. Once you are consistent with your healing, once you're consistent with believing you are, that you can and you will and you're able, then you're going to start walking in that, right? Because we always say it starts right here. It starts in the mind, right? And it's that little voice that you're silencing. So keep building brick by brick. And it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be in a hurry. You take your time to rebuild you. Okay. Layla, I want to say, pronounce it. If I mispronounce your name, I'm so sorry, baby. I love you though. Oakland, California. Shout out to the West Coast, Oakland, California. Her comment is, I realize my insecurities is not loud. It's quiet. It shows up in how I shrink and how I downplay my achievements. I'm tired of playing small and shrinking myself. So you guys, I did a show about shrinking yourself to fit into a room, right? And downplaying your talents, your gifts to make other people feel comfortable around you. And will definitely is a no-no in my book. Shrinking is one of the most common ways people sleep with insecurities, like just so that you can not be on the outside, that outsider, whether you're shrinking yourself at work, with your friends, or whatever the situation may be. Shrinking yourself is never an option in my book, right? Quiet insecurities are still powerful insecurities, but you just did something like really big. You named the pattern out loud. And once we name something out loud and we recognize it, now we're able to work on it, right? Shrinking protects your comfort, not your future. So your future needs the version of you that takes up space. Okay? So stop shrinking yourself for whatever reason it is. And use those positive affirmations every day if you have to. And if you also need to change your circle, change your circle. I think that is a big part of why we shrink ourselves, right? You got people that you're hanging around with that wants to dim your light because their light is not shining for whatever reason, or they're complacent on who they are, or they don't want to work on anything or getting better, right? So they want you to shrink because misery loves company, right? So that, I think you should start there by allowing yourself to show who you are, who you really are. Because when you're shrinking yourself, you're not showing who you are, right? You're showing a version that are making others around you comfortable. And that's never going to help you at the end, right? You're going to resent yourself if you continue doing that, right? So, yeah, your future needs the version that you want to be, right? And that's what the daily dose is about, is making you comfortable and making you understand that you can and you will. So whatever you want to do, whoever you want to be, that's a positive reflection, then you can do that. So you don't need everybody's approval. All you need is yours, right? All right, so let's keep going. Question from John in Houston, Texas. Shout out to Texas. I'm not particularly fond of Houston, but shout out to you anyway. John, how do you stop doubting yourself when people around you consistently remind you of who you used to be? Whoa, that one is a big one. And the question you just asked, John, that's a lot of people's question. A lot of people are living through that. So folks only know the old version of you, the insecure, the wounded, the unsure, and they want to keep you there because your growth challenges their comfort, right? You guys heard me. I did a show about this, about people not wanting you to grow and heal because they're comfortable with that version of you. And when you grow and heal, that takes away something from them. And maybe it's because they felt like they were better than you, they were doing better than you, whatever the case may be. So once you start healing and growing and moving in the right direction of the person that you're supposed to be, yeah, that makes people uncomfortable. And so here's the truth. You don't need permission to evolve, right? You don't need approval to heal. You don't need anybody's approval. Let's make that clear. You don't need applauses to change anything. Once you decide to get up and make that change and you're doing it for you, that's all that matters. And if they want to keep you, they in their minds can keep you in that box, but you don't have to stay there. You can step out the box, throw the box away, burn the box if you have to, and keep moving forward. So anybody that's in your life, and this is not just for John, this is for anybody. If you have people that are in your life that does not want to see you grow in a positive way, then I need you to disconnect. Those are not your people. Because anybody that truly loves you and wants the best for you, they will encourage, they will lift up, they will pour into you, knowing that you are moving in a better direction and becoming the better version of who you are, right? So if those are the people that you have around you, you need to change. Their memory of you does not outweigh your future. So whatever memory they have of you doesn't stop you from having a future and becoming the person that you are destined to be, right? So keep moving forward. You're going to have to learn how to walk alone in some instances. You're going to have to find something that gives you strength, because those people that want you to stay in that bubble are not going to go with you. And some people can't go with you. Everybody can't move into a new season with you. So you got to leave them in that leave them in that season and keep moving forward. And once you do that, once you're able to walk away, you'll definitely find people for you, and the people that love you. And I don't want to say unconditional love, because unconditional love, when people use that word unconditional, they think that they'll love you through good and bad. And I don't believe in unconditional love. And I know you guys, if you guys disagree, that's fine. But to me, if I love somebody unconditionally, I'm allowing them to hurt me whenever they need to, whenever they feel like it. And then I'm still loving them unconditional. No. I think that is something that is unhealthy. But you guys let me know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that, do you guys believe in unconditional love? And is it unconditional if it has boundaries? Like, what do you guys think? While we're still live, you guys can put it in the comments. And thank you guys, everyone that is tuning in right now. I'm still getting used to this going live thing, so bear with me. But if you guys are just tuning in, I am Gina Cherie with the Daily Dose on WGSL 104.7 online radio. So we just did an episode of sleeping with the enemy, and the enemy is your insecurities, the enemy is your self-doubt, and things of that nature. So we're just going, I had a really good amount of comments and questions since we did that show, so I wanted to come on and I wanted to answer some of these questions and some of these comments that I got. So that's what we're doing now. Okay. If you guys are not aware of the episode, you haven't heard it in its entirety, you guys can head over to Spotify, and you can head over to Pandora, Apple Podcasts, and my YouTube channel, and listen to the full episode. My YouTube channel is 2 podcasts, 1 host. I remembered it this time. All right, so where do we leave off of? We have a comment from Maya, and this is on a DM. So Maya said, I never realized my low self-esteem was making me, was making me overgive. Okay, I thought I was being nice, but now I realize I was scared of being abandoned. Okay, Maya, that's more common than you think. So overgiving is often the survival behavior of someone who feels unworthy. And there's more people that do that in hopes of keeping people around and not realizing those people are only around because you're giving them. It's something that they're getting from you. And I promise you this, once you realize, and now that you wrote me and you said it out loud, once you start not giving, once you start setting boundaries, saying no, you'll see how fast those so-called friends, those so-called people that love you will run, and they will abandon you. But you're going to have to be okay, because those are not your people. If they're only sticking around because it's a benefit of what they're getting from you, they don't love you. They don't value you. They don't love you. They are using you. And it is time for you to unplug and find the right people for you and be in the right circle. But you don't have to earn people's love. And if you have to earn it, love, it ain't love. I promise you it's not. So I don't know, like, you are lovable without overextending yourself. But first, I will say this, Maya. They're not loving you because you are not loving yourself. I hope my words are clear. Because if you loved yourself and if you understood who you were, then your overgiving not to be abandoned and letting people use you will no longer exist. So what I'm hoping for you, now that you said this out loud, is that you start making those changes and start small. Don't do it. Don't try to just change overnight, because everything doesn't change overnight. Start small. And yeah, that's something that you definitely need to work on. And if those people that have a problem with you not giving and not overdoing for them, then they just showed you who they were, and those are not your people. And you are allowed to disconnect and go find the right people for you, right? And I want you to find some really great words of affirmation. And they could be the small ones that you can tell yourself every single day. And like I said, write them down on your mirror, something that you can look at every single day, and remind yourself of who you are and what you deserve and what type of love you deserve. And in a sense, we do teach people how to love us, right? And how not to love us in a sense too, because those people are definitely taking advantage of you. If you guys want to join in, and if you guys want to add to anything, then definitely jump in. I see a lot of people online. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going over some questions and comments. So if you guys want to weigh in on anything, you guys are more than happy to do so. One of the questions that I put out is, do you guys believe in unconditional love? Why or why not? You guys can tell me that in a comment, and we can make a conversation out of that. So Maya, I really hope that you find the strength to feel worthy and to love yourself more, and put you first. And I really want you to be able to create boundaries with people and be able to say no and not oversearch yourself. I did an episode on that. Sometimes we are saying yes when we really want to say no, right? So that we are not an outsider, or like you said, you used the word abandoned, and that goes back to that. And by you overasserting yourself, you're allowing people to walk all over you. That's my opinion. That's you asked. That's why I said it the way that I said it. And I know sometimes my words may seem harsh, but when we're in our healing process and we're on our growth season, we don't have time to sugarcoat. We got to get down to the nitty gritty, and we got to face this thing head on. And by facing it head on, we got to be honest with ourselves. So Maya, you can DM me if you need books, or that have certain books that you can look at or read, and certain things that you can do to start this process, so that you are not giving all of yourself to other people, and that you pour into you first before you pour into other people. Okay. Question from Andre. From the Bronx, New York. Shout out to the Bronx. Gina, when you said we sleep with doubt because it's familiar, that hit me. How do you get comfortable with the unfamiliar? Great question, Andre. The unfamiliar feels scary at first because we don't trust it yet. We're so used to being in that comfort and living in that space that anything else positive, it could be very positive and we'll still be afraid of it, right? But being familiar and safety are not the same thing. Sometimes the things we're used to is the same thing destroying us, right? Example, we were just having this conversation tonight at work. This person is so used to being in this toxic relationship with this person. It's no longer love. You're just there because it's familiar. It's toxic and you shouldn't be there, but it's so familiar to you that that's your comfort zone. And stepping out to the unknown is the scariest thing, because all you know is this. That's with any type of abuse, right? So having the strength to step out in the unknown, you've already started. And this is a start. So as scary sometimes as being with your guard down and being vulnerable with somebody, this is your start right here. You got to practice being uncomfortable in small ways. Just like this. You wrote in and you let your guard down and you were vulnerable in this moment. So this is your beginning. And this is the way that you start being, you're practicing being uncomfortable in small ways. Try something new. Change your routine. Challenge one's thought for a day, right? The more you experience newness, the less threatening it feels to you. Okay? Your comfort zone expands every time you stretch yourself. So take that leap and keep going into the unknown. Will it be scary? Yes. Will it be uncomfortable? Yes. But consistency is the key. And once you make this a habit, you're going to see how quickly that will change for you. And then you can start making different decisions. You can start thinking differently and see where it goes. So let me know how that works for you. Start small. Like I always say, always do small things. Everything doesn't have to be huge and like just big in the moment, right? You can start small, micro moments, and then keep in contact with me, Andre, and let me know how that goes. You can definitely DM me again, and you can show progress. I know that some men are uncomfortable using the word journal, but if you have something that you can write in, you can call it whatever you want to. You know, write your thoughts and stuff like and say how you feel about things. Then I think that would be a good piece for you to do as well. Men or women, it doesn't matter. If you got thoughts and stuff that you're carrying, you can write those down. And things that you want to work on, you can write those down as well. Okay. So work on your newness, because it will be less threatening for you, and expand your comfort zone, and you'll be fine. All right. We have another one. They just call themselves T. All right. I realize I don't doubt myself. I doubt the world will accept the real me. Okay. T, the world doesn't get the final vote, though. You do. The real you is who you were created to be. The real you is the virgin ready to rise. The real you is the one purpose that you're attached to. So the real you, do you know the real you? I'm curious. You say you don't doubt yourself. You doubt that the world will accept the real you. So my question to you is, do you know who the real you is? And the reason why I'm questioning, I'm throwing that question back to you, because if you really knew who the real you was, you wouldn't care what the world thought. You wouldn't care about the world accepting you if you knew who you really were. People's acceptance of you is optional. Your authenticity to yourself is mandatory. So look within and make sure you understand who you are, and do you really love who you are? Because once you go out to the world, you don't need their acceptance. You can walk in this, whether if you have to walk alone, you need to stand on your own too and be able to do that. So the way I see this, and if it was me, I just wouldn't care what the world. If we all worried about what other people thought about us in this world, we'll never get anywhere. People are going to have opinions about you, good or bad, no matter what you do. People are going to talk about you when you're dead and they're throwing dirt on you. People are going to talk about you when you are alive. It does not matter. So it should not matter to you if the world accepts you or not. But it all starts with you. That was a lot. So hopefully I answered the questions correctly. I hope my words are making sense to you guys. Yeah, trying to see if I have any more that I wanted to pull. And because I got a lot of them, but I only chose a few, about 7 or 8 of them that I pulled out. Okay. So Yeah, I think that's it. So let's do a midday check-in real quick, you guys. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody had a great day. Hope their heart was good today. How are your thoughts speaking to you today? Are you pouring from an overflow or survival today? You guys can go back and answer that. Are you pouring from overflow or survival? Are you shrinking or expanding? Are you honoring yourself or hiding yourself today? So I'm going to go back over those one more time. You guys can answer those to yourself. Write them down in your journal if you need to. And if you are doing any of those things, those are the things that you definitely need to start working on. Okay? How are your thoughts speaking to you today? Are they speaking positive? Are you pouring from an overflow or survival? Are you shrinking yourself or are you expanding? Are you honoring yourself or hiding from yourself? Okay. You don't have to have everything together. We're in midweek though. You just have to stay committed to showing up for you. So if you answered yes to any of those, if you're shrinking yourself and not expanding, if you are moving off of survival, if your inner thoughts are speaking to you negatively, then we definitely have some work to do for the rest of the week, right? Your journal prop, that we're going to revisit that real quick. What lie have you been telling yourself, and what truth is ready to take its place? So spend time with that. Write without judging yourself, first off. Let your truth rise to the surface. This is a part where you are supposed to be very honest with yourself. You cannot fix or grow if you are not honest with what needs to be fixed and changed, right? So as you're writing, as you're answering, just be honest with yourself. There's no judgment here, right? We're all here to grow, even myself. Just because I'm bringing this to you or this is the platform I'm using doesn't mean I have it all figured out. When you guys have your journal prompts, I have my journal prompts too. When I tell you guys you have to watch out for that small whisper, those inner thoughts, I have to do the same thing. This is a daily job. This is a daily thing that we need to work on, right? Your heart knows when to be ready to release. So whatever you guys are holding on to, if you need to release that, work on that, doing that. And take a calm moment. If you need to unwind, try to unwind in a positive way. Why is there... Y'all don't see the bug, but the bug is on my cup. And I don't like bugs on my cup. But let me stay focused. Everybody needs a time to unwind. Everybody needs those moments. I used to unwind by sitting in my car when I got off of work, or even sitting in my car before I went into work, and needed to unwind, right? Just those quiet moments sometimes. Sometimes I would come home and don't turn on the TV, don't do anything, and just spend that quiet time. So if you're finding yourself needing to do that, find something that helps you to unwind from your day. Because we all go through things throughout the day. We all got that job that we don't like. We all got that one person at that job that we don't like. And sometimes we just need to have an escape, right? But that's it, you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to all the listeners' comments and questions. If you guys have a question or a comment, you guys can definitely reach out to me. You guys can email me at hostginacherie@gmail.com, hostginaserrie@gmail.com, or you guys can head over to my Instagram, or even here on TikTok. You guys can DM me and leave your questions here. if I don't get to your question in one day, I'll definitely get to it the next. Okay. I'm trying to get used to having people email, call, and DM me, just reaching out. And adding that to my segments. And if you guys want to add anything, I do not know everything. I'm never going to sit on this platform and tell you that I do. So if there was a question that if you guys wanted to help somebody else, this doesn't have to just come from me. You guys can help me out as well, to help other people out too. My word is not the final word. So if you guys have a book, if you guys have an encouraging word, or maybe somebody else's platform to listen to that might help and encourage someone, then make it a domino effect and pass it along. So it's not just about me. I think this needs to be done collectively, with people. And some people, what I say may not be for you. You might get it and you might connect with somebody else that speaks differently, and that's okay. As long as you find your healing somewhere, that's what matters, right? It doesn't have to be here on the Daily Dose, as long as you find your healing somewhere. So yeah, there it is in a nutshell. I am life coach and certified counselor Gina Cherie. And I have the Daily Dose that you guys can listen to every week. I hate saying like every Monday or every Tuesday because stuff happens. So when I go live, I'll let you guys know when I do that. Yeah, I think that's it. Like I said, you guys can connect with me. Starting next week though, when I do lives, I'm gonna have a space where you guys can call in again and we can do live calls. I think that would be a good way to connect with people. So tune into that. I'll let you guys know when I get that all taken care of. Other than that, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Gina Cherie with the Daily Dose. So be kind to yourself. Everything doesn't happen overnight. We do not grow and heal overnight. So this is our journey. So allow yourself to be honest with yourself and answer those questions. And we're all in it together. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Have a beautiful night and stay blessed. I don't want to do that.